Hi Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. This is going to be your general mini cross reading for July 2021. I have with me the Radiant White deck. I have with me the La Vida Sibilas. And you're going to get an opportunity to post two questions. One to the Psychic Oracle Tarot and the other to the Marseille Sibilas. Okay? I have already done some meditation and shuffling on your sun. I'm trying to get all my stuff together here. It's rolling around. And let me turn the camera around. Okay. All right, here we go. The cards have been acting really strange. Not bad news, just kind of really strange. Kind of an odd, I don't know, thing. So, here we go. Where are we right now? Five of Cups. Well, Sagittarius, what is the foundation of this? The Page of Cups. Some news, some message, maybe a new person who's entered into your life. What is the energy of the near and distant past? The Justice card. Wow. What is the unknown factor? The Seven of Wands. I always have to see this card come out. And then, what is the energy of the near and distant future? Wow. It is the Eight of Swords. Well, isn't that interesting? 5, 7, 8. I'm just missing the 6 in the center. Okay, and what is the energy over the entire reading? The High Priestess. The Middle Way. Well, so right in the center, there's something that, I don't know, you have regrets or sorrow over, or definitely there's some crying over spilt milk or lost things, or at least things you feel or lost. Those are cups, remember? So this is really about your feelings. But I call this card the Two of Cups in disguise, because instead of focusing on what was lost or spilled or knocked over or whatever the case may be, if you can shrug this off, this cape here, see that bridge in the back? Okay, this is, and with the water running underneath it. So this is, here you are standing on the shore all alone crying over these, but there's a home and warmth over there. So these Two of Cups in disguise, right? So stop focusing on this and turn around and focus on that. And the Two of Cups is not always the card about romantic love. It is really about finding the balance within yourself, the masculine and the feminine properties, to regain emotional balance so that you can get yourself back on track. But I'm not exactly sure if you guys are, I don't know, distracted or questioning yourself here. This is what the 7 means. It's a number of self-questioning and self-doubt, reflection and meditation. But, you know, what you're doing is you're up, you know, trying to beat things back. I like this card because it says that you are in a better place than you realize. You're up above that fray, right? All of those sticks are coming up. Maybe this is people telling you stuff and saying stuff, and you're just trying to, you know, beat back whatever the thing is so that you can move forward. But I also see here that you are mentally stuck in the situation and you feel as though you cannot get out of it. Now, I don't know if there's a legal issue here, but this High Priestess card is here to say over it, trust whatever your intuition is telling you. Okay? Whatever your intuition is telling you about this situation, trust it. It will not steer you wrong. I mean, even with this, it's like you're not listening to your intuition. What you're doing is you're listening to the thoughts in your head because you think you can't get out of this, right? But it's not true. Let me take a look. I'm going to see, I can't look at this card. So I'm going to see if I can find any extra information with these cards with both the Justice and the High Priestess, okay? Because I think some of you already kind of know what the answer is. I just think you might be a bit fearful about doing something about it or speaking up, whatever the case may be. Here we start with the Five of Cups. Tells me nothing next to these cards. Now, wait, wrong card. Hold on. I don't know why it says Five of Cups there. It might have been a typo when I put it in. Okay, hang on. The white bridge tells of a great deal of potential and of the need to change direction. It indicates disappointments that you may find difficult to explain. It tells that you may be experiencing a feeling of bitterness that could create real problems in a relationship. In time, the bitterness and emptiness that you may be feeling will pass, and feelings of contentment and happiness can return. This card asks you to consider the reasons for these negative feelings and try to establish a positive goal or desire. It indicates dissatisfaction and unhappiness brought about by a feeling of perhaps a missed opportunity or an unjust situation. It tells you that dwelling on what may have been is a futile exercise, so accept things and learn from the lesson so that you can move on. This is a card of loss and regrets, and may be indicating that although things may not have gone to plan, there is still something remaining which is able to be worked and improved upon. It asks that you carefully consider. It asks you to consider carefully before making major decisions, as the effects may have unforeseen consequences. It does not tell me again anything next to these two cards. So let me move up to this Seven of Wands. Here. And again, tells me nothing next to these two cards. This card calls for a test of supreme effort. So this could be referring to a job interview, an examination, or a test of will. It says there is nothing to fear as there is no indication of failure, but rather there will most likely be satisfaction in being able to handle the situation or to pass the test with flying colors. It tells of confrontation and of standing up for one's intentions. You are encouraged to use strength and be courageous. It says that strength and courage will be needed in order to continue the fight. It shows that the odds may be against you, but that you should stand firm. It asks that you should not only concentrate on challenges internally, but also internally, within. In order to progress, you should be prepared to make changes to yourself by challenging that which requires improvement. Because you're spending a lot of time crying and thinking you can't get out of something. And as long as you think that, you won't be able to. As above, so below. The Eight of Swords. Doesn't tell me anything next to these two cards. But it's an 8, and 8s always bring about positive changes. But the focus is on imprisonment at this time. And you may be feeling that you are unable to express your true feelings or being trapped in an uncomfortable situation. However, the situation is self-inflicted or self-imposed. and would be easy to be free of it if an effort was made. With some clear thought, one is able to see themselves out of this situation. If you refuse to think or see clearly, you will remain in this negative situation. It tells of someone who is trapped in a situation of her own making. The ties and bonds are loose, though, and can be shaken off if you choose to do so. It foretells of feelings of restrictions and holding yourself back. A sense of betrayal is attached to this card. It can indicate someone who is fearful of moving out of a situation and feelings of confusion and lack clarity. It also tells you to pay attention as some long-awaited news or information may be on its way to you. Although you may be feeling trapped by your situation, your mind is free and full of activity. You are asked to use this time to reflect on how the situation came about and how you will act once it is over. Once you are free of your current situation, you will feel a new sense of determination and personal strength. It tells of fear, hurt, and confusion. And it implies that if you worry continuously, you will run the risk of becoming depleted of energy, which may lead to illness and disease. But it also says to keep your eyes and ears open and remain very aware at this time, as you are asked to use your intuition and inner knowing. And this is why she has come up. And this is what the card says. So if I had to pick a card, because the energy feels as though it's resting with this page. So let's take a look at this page with the Sibilas. The offer. I just get a sense that whatever this thing is, you're fighting. You feel like you're fighting against it. You're trying to get out of it, but you really don't see a way out. You know, that's just what you're thinking. The windmills of your mind. The militare. The desperate jealousy. And the consolante sorpresa. Remember when I said to you the cards are they're behaving rather oddly? Let's see. You know, remember when I said maybe this is about somebody new who's come into your life? Maybe perhaps the person is a soldier or related to law enforcement. But this individual has a lot of trouble, a lot of issues. And this card warns of trusting them. But it is this card that makes no sense to me. And maybe what this card is saying is that, you know, I went looking for X, Y, and Z, and this is what I found. And if what you found is that the person is different from what you thought they were, you can consider that to be lucky. Honestly, you can. Let me take a look at this Eight of Swords. I'm going to look to see if there's a combination interpretation with the militare and the desperate jealousy. Okay? The Vedovo. Holy shit. The Il Nemico. Yes, indeed. And the Fortuna. It's exactly what these cards are telling me. Wow. Negative, 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 but these are positive cards. So sometimes when the string of cards end with a positive card, it just kind of means that the effect or the what's the word that I'm looking for? is not as bad or as strong as it could be. This card warns of trusting someone that you might not want to trust. Okay? Jealousy, envy, gossip, treachery. Okay? That's really what the cards, the key words that it represents. And maybe, you go out with this person and then all of a sudden they show you their true colors. You know what I mean? So, now, let's see. In love, it represents someone who has trust issues, who is always afraid that their partner is cheating on them and consequently can make your life difficult, spying on your every move. Often, it can indicate someone who is unfaithful, and it suggests selfishness and or abuse, or simply carnal attraction. Okay? The card indicates a struggle and an opposition. It indicates that you will meet with a lot of struggle before your goals can be achieved. It also means that someone's going to give you a lot of grief and oppose your efforts to succeed. So much inner strength and determination are needed to succeed and win the war with this fierce opponent. The card acts as a warning of possible violence, usurpation, brutality, abuse of power, and being taken advantage of by unscrupulous people. This surprise, this thing, that fish popping out of the cup. But the consolante sorpresa kind of comes along to, it's not a really strong card, but it falls at this end of the end of this, I think that's the 8 of Wands. No, it's not. It might be the 6. Yes, it is the 6. In this instance, this card is showing up like an accelerated time frame. That's what this is saying. This is what the card is saying. In other words, because it feels kind of like a reversal, in other words, the card can indicate a blessing in disguise. Yes. Now, these two cards, there's only two very, very lucky cards in the Sibila deck. It is the Fortuna and the Superbia. And the Superbia is actually a stronger card than the Fortuna card. Because this card says that no matter what else is going on from the outside or whatever else is happening to anybody else, and I just keep getting the sense that something happened and somebody may have gone to jail or maybe going to jail, you know, but you can in effect say goodbye to that enemy and count your lucky stars. Okay, because the Vedevo is not a nice person, not really. He is not. I mean, these are all spades. Here, that's the 10. He's the 8. This is the 3. This is the 11. Like the Jack. Okay. Now, let me take a look. I want to see something here. The card, just general meaning, represents sadness, remorse, and regret. In other words, it's almost like the Five of Cups. Okay? When indicating a place, this card describes a monastery or a retreat or a prison or a cemetery. That's what I'm saying. It's kind of like somebody ends up going to jail. All right? Just looking over the Vedevo to make sure that that's what I was picking up was correct. So now we look at this Il Nemico. And the card acts as a warning. Now, it is someone who has an open dislike for you and whose ambition, desires, and egos clash with yours. And it says that the person can seem very nice, but somehow does not inspire trust and gives you a bad feeling. That's why I'm telling you to trust your intuition. Now, this person can be a mean-spirited lover, a vindictive ex-husband. The person can be a true snake. Now, it can warn of illegal activities, as can this card. Personally, it indicates someone who works against you, who's always working against you, and has a personal agenda against you. And it's usually someone within a circle of friends who feels that they have a score to settle. On a broader level, the card is a harbinger of unpleasant events. It says that such as scandal, gossip, pettiness, threats, blackmail, something or someone who will become dangerous. So like a snake, the card indicates someone with a forked tongue and a spreader of lies, maliciousness, and gossip. But if this is telling me that this card has the power to annul almost all of these cards here, and what I'm kind of picking up is that, you know, if this is somebody new that you don't know, okay, I would be extremely cautious and very careful around the person. They may have a criminal background that you don't know anything about. Might be someone who's could be violent, become violent, or worse, crazy, and then violent. And so, but this tells me that you've already seen the red flags, Sagittarius. You've already seen them. So, formulate a question for the almost like the cards are saying the person goes to jail, and if that's the case, if you get away as far away as fast as you can. It's going to be like the best thing that's ever happened to you. All right. Recognition and reward. It is the Three of Pentacles. Now, this could be in any situation, so this could also be contained within your work, right? Maybe you work like in the legal profession, or you might be a police officer, or you might be a lawyer, or, you know, you work in the prison system, you know. Somebody around you doesn't like you. This is what I can say. And you should be very careful of the person. Again, this card has come up. Reflections. All right, so we're going to look at the number 3, recognition and reward. A reward for a job well done is what this card represents. It is a time of recognition for a completed project, hard work, skill, expertise, and craftsmanship. These abilities are now being honored, but also do not forget to pay homage to yourself. Pat yourself on the back as you deserve it. Remember, we're talking about somebody who's not wishing you well. This card comes forth to represent a family, a group of people coming together, all of whom are aiming and striving toward a common goal. Accept the help that's being offered. Don't do that. More possibilities are in the works, so be sure to lay a foundation for your past achievements, and this will help you be ready for the next opportunity. In addition, this card is a reminder to take care of your physical body. This is the message. After all, it is what carries your soul around in this material world. That's the message. It took me a long time to get to it, but that's the message. Take care of your physical body. Reflections. Number 24. This card just came up for somebody else. It says a period of meditation and relaxation. Take a break from the everyday. And in a way, it's almost like the cards are saying in a roundabout way, get away from this person. Find something else to do. Don't dwell on this or dwell in this. Just, leave it. Okay? That's what I have for you, Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising for July 2021. I do hope those messages helped you. Until next time, be well, stay safe, and namaste.